I want you to do something for me. I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
Unless you are driving, please. Do not close your eyes if you are operating a vehicle.
Good caveat.
But if you can, just picture this.
Yeah.
You are in deep space. It is absolute silence. A vast, bruised, purple and blue nebula is stretching out in every direction. It's cold, it's empty. It is, the definition of a void. And drifting through this silence is a ship.
And we need to be specific about the ship here. This isn't like a sleek, aerodynamic fighter jet from a summer blockbuster.
No.
It's not chrome. It's not aggressive.
No, not at all. It's a vessel. It's red, industrial, sturdy. It looks like it has mass. It looks lived in. It looks like it could take a hit.
It has a certain gravity to it, a sense of permanence almost.
Exactly. And as this ship drifts, it passes a planet. And this isn't just a rock in space. This planet represents the world. It is dense. It is loud. It is full of history, urgency, screaming conflicts, deadlines, traffic, noise.
All the noise.
All the noise. And the ship is close enough to see it, close enough to care about it. But, and this is the key, the noise of that planet stops at the hull.
That is a very evocative image to start with. The silence of the vessel versus the noise of the planet. It sets up the tension immediately.
Right. And inside that ship, it's not empty, it's humming. There is a whole ecosystem inside. Because what we are looking at today, this document called Later Days, isn't a blueprint for a sci-fi movie set, although I would totally watch that movie.
Oh, I would absolutely watch that, 100%. But no, you're right. It's something much more intimate and, frankly, much more useful.
We're looking at a document that describes itself as a vessel for the internal world.
It's a metaphor, a rigorous architectural metaphor for a human mind, specifically a mind that operates with plurality.
Let's pause on that word for a second, plurality, because we're going to be talking about a crew a lot today, and I think for some listeners, that might sound like we're talking about a disorder or something very niche.
It's a valid point. In clinical psychology, we often talk about dissociative identity disorder, which is a specific diagnosis. But the concept of plurality or multiplicity is much, much broader.
Okay.
Think of internal family systems therapy. The idea is that the self isn't one solid, monolithic block of concrete. It's not just I am me. No, we are a collection of parts.
Right, like you have the you that is a professional at work, very serious, checks emails. You have the you that is a scared child when you get yelled at. You have the you that wants to eat cake at 2 in the morning, and the you that wants to wake up at 5 a.m. and run a marathon.
And usually those parts are they're fighting in a disorganized mosh pit in our heads. They are screaming over each other. The cake eater is fighting the marathon runner, and the scared child is crying in the corner while the professional ignores them.
It's chaos. It's just noise.
It's exactly. Chaos and burnout. But this document, Later Days, asks a different question. It asks, what if those parts were a crew on a spaceship? What if we built a physical structure, floors, rooms, systems, where they could live, work, and rest together without driving each other crazy?
That is the mission of the Later Days vessel. The text explicitly states the goal is to support a functioning internal system where distinct subpersonalities can operate, collaborate, and rest without collapsing into burnout or chaos.
Without collapsing into burnout or chaos, I feel like that should be the mission statement for modern life in general.
It's the holy grail, isn't it? And notice the emphasis on rest. It doesn't just say operate.
Right.
It says rest.
That's a crucial distinction. Most self-help hacks are about optimization. How do I squeeze more productivity out of my brain? This vessel is designed for sustainability. It's designed for the long haul.
So we have a massive document here. I mean, it's incredibly detailed. It covers everything from the engine room in the deep basement to a greenhouse on the roof. It has crew manifests, philosophy, and some very specific rules about how you move around. We are going to take the full tour.
We're going to go deck by deck, from the plumbing to the stars.
But before we get to the rooms, we have to talk about the philosophy, the physics of this internal world, if you will. Because there is a rule in here that completely stopped me in my tracks.
I think I know the one you're talking about, the low fantasy rule.
Yes. The document says the tone is a blend of realism and imagination. But the rule is no portals, no teleportation.
Instant movement removes the process. That is the quote.
That is such a heavy line. Instant movement removes the process. I want to dig into that. Why does that matter in a mental landscape? Why can't I just snap my fingers and be in the library?
Well, think about how we usually try to handle our emotions in the modern world. We treat them like apps on a phone. We want to swipe them away. If you are feeling sad, you want to instantly teleport to feeling happy. You scroll TikTok, you eat sugar, you distract yourself, you try to skip the journey.
You want to beam up to the happiness deck? You don't want to walk through the sadness hallway?
Exactly. But this ship says, no. If you are in the engine room, which we'll get to, represents your gut feelings, your visceral reactions, maybe your anger, and you want to get to the library, your higher thinking, your rationality, you cannot just snap your fingers. You have to walk.
You have to take the stairs.
You have to physically transition through the levels of your own psyche. You have to walk past the cargo bay. You have to walk past the gym. That time it takes to walk, that is the processing. That is your brain adjusting from I am reactive to I am reflective.
It's the regulation,
Right.
building regulation into the architecture.
That's it. And it connects to this whole concept of staircases versus elevators. The document says elevators exist, but they are for equipment, supplies, or the injured and exhausted. They are the exception.
Right. So if you are taking the elevator, it means you are in crisis. It means you are carrying a load too heavy to carry up the stairs. It's a compassion mechanic.
A compassion mechanic. I like that.
But the default is effort. The default is walking.
It reminds me of the commute. You know how people complain about commuting to work, but then when everyone started working from home during the pandemic, people realized they kind of missed that 20 minutes in the car.
Oh, totally. Because without the car ride, you're just teleporting from your bed to your desk. There's no separation.
The commute was the airlock. It was the transition zone between home you and work you. Without it, the identities bleed together. This ship enforces the commute. It creates spatial separation between your feelings.
I love that. It adds a sense of weight to the mental state. It grounds you.
Grounding is the perfect word. The document mentions the ship is big enough to wander, small enough to feel personal. It's designed so you can get lost, but not abandoned.
You can have your favorite corners, but you can't, completely lose track of the whole system.
Right. Privacy within a shared system.
And speaking of getting lost, let's talk about who's wandering these halls. The crew.
The subpersonalities. The source lists a crew size of 10, which is a really interesting constraint.
10, okay.
And it gives us names for a few key players. We have Liz, who is listed as influence. We have Mac, the driver. Tira, the analyst. Tommy, the engineer. Val, the chef.
It's like the cast of a heist movie or a very complicated sitcom.
It really is. But think about how helpful that is as a tool. Instead of just feeling a vague sense of, I need to control everything, you can identify that as Mac, the driver, wanting to take the wheel.
Ah, okay.
Instead of just feeling critical and cold, you can say, oh, that's Tira, the analyst, running a diagnostic.
It separates the feeling from the identity. You are anxiety. You are a person experiencing a report from Tira that things are going wrong.
Precisely. It creates just enough distance to be useful. And this ship gives them a place to live. It asks, where does the chef sleep? Where does the analyst work? So let's go see where they live. Let's start at the bottom.
The foundation, levels 1 and 2.
We are going down into the dark. The noise level rises here. You can hear the hum of the machinery.
Level 1 is the lower basement. The document links this to the gut, the autonomic nervous system.
This is the industrial sector. You have the engine, the core, water treatment, HVAC. It's hot, it's loud, it's not pretty down here.
No, this is not the tourist deck. But the description of the systems here is strangely poetic. It says the goal is to ensure the ship feels ordinary, safe, and undeservedly reliable.
Undeservedly reliable. That phrase hit me hard.
Me too.
What does that say to you?
It speaks to the grace of the biological body. Think about how we treat our bodies. We stay up too late, we drink too much coffee, we stress out, we eat garbage, we push ourselves to the limit, we ignore the warning lights, and yet
The heart keeps beating.
the lungs keep inflating, the engine keeps turning. The body's reliable in a way we often haven't earned. It supports the eye regardless of how the eye behaves. That is actually really emotional when you think about it. It's this silent, unconditional support system in the basement. It's the janitor who never complains.
And look at how it handles the messy stuff, the wastewater and water treatment. The text says it takes what the crew discards and returns it to the cycle without judgment or spectacle.
Without judgment or spectacle. That is the opposite of how I usually handle my emotional garbage. I usually make a huge spectacle of it.
Oh, of course.
I judge myself for having it.
We all do. Why am I feeling this? I'm so stupid for being sad. I'm so weak for being angry. That's judgment. That's spectacle.
But the ship says, no, it's just waste. Flush it. Treat it. Recycle it.
It frames negative emotion not as a moral failing, but as a plumbing issue.
Oh, I love that.
It just needs to be processed. If the toilet backs up, you don't scream at the toilet. You plunge it.
And then there's the air, the HVAC system.
Mhm.
It says it exists to keep air forgettable.
Which is the highest compliment you can pay to air.
Truly, if I am noticing the air, something has gone terribly wrong.
Right. Either it smells or it's too hot or it's gone.
So level 1 is the silent hero. It's the gut. It keeps you alive so you can have the luxury of having a personality. Now, we walk up one flight of stairs to level 2, the upper basement.
Still in the guts of the ship, but a little more organized.
This is maintenance and logistics.
Yeah.
We're still in the utilitarian zone. We have the cargo bay, cold storage, the workshop, and the logistics office.
If level 1 is the biology, level 2 is the resource management. It's the backstage of the mind.
A cargo bay is for receiving and organizing assets.
What constitutes an asset for a mind? Information, memories, skills, energy, emotional bandwidth.
Right.
When you learn something new, it goes into the cargo bay. When you have a burst of motivation, that's fuel. You have to store it somewhere.
And cold storage. Preserving resources to prevent decay.
Maybe that's long-term memory. Or maybe it's preserving a specific feeling or lesson so it doesn't fade. I learned this hard lesson. I need to put it on ice so I don't forget it.
Almost like cryo storage for important insights.
Yeah, exactly. So they're still fresh when you need them.
Then there's the workshop, a facility for repairs, refurbishes, and upgrades.
This is where the work of therapy happens, or self-help, or skill building. You realize a part of your personality is acting up.
You take it to the workshop.
You realize your coping mechanism is rusty, you sand it down, you give it a new coat of paint.
It's active. It's not just storage, it's tinkering. It implies you can fix things. You aren't stuck with breaking tools.
That's a very hopeful concept, and the logistics office ties it all together. Logs, data, inventory, maintenance schedules. It's the executive assistant to the brain, knowing what you have, knowing what you need.
This is the spoon theory office.
Exactly. For those who don't know, spoon theory is this great metaphor for managing chronic illness or disability. The idea that you only have a certain number of spoons or units of energy in a day.
And every action costs a spoon.
Right. And the logistics office counts the spoons.
It's the part of you that says, hey, you can't go to that party tonight because you only have 10% fuel left in the tanks.
And if you ignore the logistics office, you end up crashing the ship. You go into energy debt.
So that's the basement. Grounded, loud, essential. Now, we're going to leave the dark industrial vibe. We're climbing the stairs to level 3, and the lights get brighter here. This is operations.
The bridge.
This is the brain, the control center.
This is where the decisions happen. The source describes this level as providing complete systems awareness.
This is where everything converges. You know that you're hungry, that's a level 1 alert. You know that you are sad, that's a level 3 analysis. And that you have a meeting in 5 minutes, that's a level 2 schedule.
It all hits the screens here, all at once.
And there's a navigation station. Converts decisions into direction. That's the crucial step. You can have all the data in the world, but eventually you have to turn the wheel.
But the centerpiece of level 3 isn't a captain's chair.
No, it's not.
It's a conference table.
Yes. A place where different perspectives meet to decide what will be done and what will not.
What will not? That is the essence of executive function. Inhibitory control.
Deciding not to scream at your boss. Deciding not to eat the entire cake.
And notice the phrasing, different perspectives meet. This acknowledges the plurality. It's not a dictatorship. It's a board meeting.
Right.
Liz, who is influence, might want to steer towards a social event. Tira, the analyst, might say, fuel reserves are low, we need to hold course. Mac, the driver, just wants to go fast.
And they have to argue it out at the table.
That internal debate we all feel, that's the meeting at the level 3 conference table. And sometimes it's a loud meeting.
I want to quit my job, says one part. We have a mortgage, says the other part. I'm hungry, says the third part.
And the goal of the ship is to have a structured place for that argument, rather than just chaos.
There's also a station here called filtering. It says, examines patterns and consequences, separating signal from speculation while filtering noise.
In the year 2026, or whenever we are, that is the hardest job on the ship.
Separating signal from speculation. I mean, wow.
We are constantly bombarded with noise. Does that text mean they hate me? That's speculation. The text says, okay, that's the signal.
Right.
The filter's job is to stop the speculation from setting off the red alert sirens.
If the filters on level 3 are clogged, the whole ship goes into panic mode over a text message.
Which happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
But on this ship, you can visualize it. You can imagine someone sitting at the console, tweaking the gain, trying to clear the static.
Okay, so level 3 is high stress. It's the brain at work. It's where the ship is steered. So Logically, what do you need right above the high-stress zone?
You need relief. You need a break.
You need level 4, lower recreation, or as the outline puts it, the body.
Now, wait, didn't we say level 1 was the body?
Good question. Level 1 was the biology, the organs, the machinery. Level 4 is the experience of the body, movement, care, sensation.
I see. This is somatic care. This is embodiment.
Exactly. This is the gym and the pool spa.
The gym allows for cardio, stretching, and safe outlets for strength exertion.
Safe outlets. That's key. Sometimes you have aggressive energy. You have anger. You can't just repress it and send it down to level 1 wastewater.
No.
You have to express it. You have to punch a bag.
Or run until your lungs burn. It transforms the emotional energy into kinetic energy. It metabolizes the stress.
And then, after that, the pool spa. Cleansing and washing. Heat and stillness to repair muscles and nerves.
It's placed directly above operations for a reason. After the intensity of the bridge on level 3, you climb up to level 4 to stabilize, to come back to yourself.
The source says its purpose is to stabilize and hold people when the journey takes more than it gives.
When the journey takes more than it gives, that is a definition of burnout or trauma. When life is extracting more from you than it is replenishing.
And the solution isn't think harder, that's staying at level 3. The solution is be held.
The water holds you, the heat holds you. It says you don't have to decide anything right now, just float. It's a very maternal, nurturing level.
It's pure physical regulation. Also, on practical note, the source points out there are restrooms everywhere. Gender-neutral half baths on levels 3, 5, 8.
Undeservedly reliable. Even in a mental metaphor, you need to pee.
So we've established the working decks: basement, logistics, ops, gym. Now we cross a threshold. We are going to level 5.
The heart.
This feels like a major vibe shift. The lighting changes, sounds are softer.
It is. Levels 1 through 4 are about function. Survival, maintenance, decision, movement. Level 5 is about community.
The spaces here are domestic. Kitchen, pantry, dining room, living room.
The kitchen is where Val, the chef, works, transforming raw ingredients into digestible meals.
Again, a metaphor, taking raw experience life and cooking it into something you can actually digest, making meaning out of chaos.
And the dining room, where subpersonalities come together to share a meal.
This is crucial for the plural system. It's not enough to just work together on the bridge. You have to break bread.
You have to humanize the other parts of yourself. If the driver and the analyst only ever talk about navigation, they are colleagues. But if they eat together, they become family. They build trust.
So when a crisis hits on the bridge, they actually like each other.
Or at least they understand each other. They've seen each other with their guard down.
And then the living room. People can coexist here without needing to produce or decide anything.
Without needing to produce. That is the most radical statement in the document.
It really is. It is so countercultural. We are obsessed with production. What did you do today? What did you achieve?
The level 5 living room says, no, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit on the couch. You can just coexist.
It's the definition of home. Home is the place where you don't have to perform. Your existence is enough.
I think a lot of people are missing a level 5 in their internal architecture.
I love that. Okay, but sometimes you don't want to hang out with yourself. Sometimes you need to be alone. Even the community of the living room is too much noise.
Correct. Sometimes you need to shut the door.
That brings us to levels 6 and 7. The private quarters.
The bedrooms. But calling them bedrooms feels like an undersell. These are sanctums. These are habitats for different parts of the self.
And they are split into 2 decks. Level 6 is the lower bedrooms.
Which feels a bit darker. Or maybe just more grounded. The source mentions a male-only locker room on this floor, which is an interesting detail.
The descriptions here are very specific. Room 1 is a quiet harbor. Room 2 is controlled quiet.
Room 2 sounds like a monk's cell. Sparse, dimly lit. Guard is lowered here.
That's the room for the part of you that is hyper-vigilant, the protector, the one who's always scanning for threats. Where do they go when they finally put the shield down?
They don't want to party.
No. They want darkness and silence. They want a bunker.
Then you have room 4. Cluttered but comforting retreat, playlists humming, authenticity is allowed to be loud.
That's the teenager room, or the Aya room.
Totally. Posters on the wall, music too loud, messy bed. It's a safe mess. It's generative chaos.
In room 5. An organized mess. Sketches, notes, screens, fueling imagination. That's the engineer's room. Tommy's room, perhaps.
I would bet on it. It's where the brain dumps all its ideas so it doesn't have to carry them around. It's a project space.
So level 6 is functional, grounded, a bit messy, a bit dark. It's the cave.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Then we go up to level 7, the upper bedrooms.
The energy shifts here. It's lighter, more curated. The source says there is a female-only locker room here.
And the room descriptions are lush. Room 1, a bright nest, half-pack bags, warm memories, soft chaos.
Soft chaos. That's a lovely phrase. It's distinct from the clutter downstairs. This is nostalgic chaos. It's sentimental.
It's the part of you that's always planning the next adventure, but is also deeply attached to memories.
And then your personal favorite, I'm guessing, room 3.
The velvet throne room.
Curated layer of mirrors, indulgent aromas, and where plots manifest into lip gloss and heels.
Yes. The drama, the glamour, the sheer audacity.
Every mind has this capacity. The desire to be regal, to be powerful and beautiful. It's the ambitious self, or the performer.
We often shame this part of ourselves. We call it vain or high maintenance. But this ship gives it a literal throne room.
It says, you are allowed to be dramatic here. You are allowed to look in the mirror and admire yourself. You are allowed to plot.
And by giving it a room, you contain it. If you suppress the drama queen, she will hijack the bridge on level 3 and cause a scene.
Exactly.
But if you give her a throne room, she can go there, put on the heels, feel powerful, and then come to dinner on level 5 as a balanced crew member.
It honors the need without letting it run the entire system. Contrast that with room 5 on this level. The disciplined, calm, intentional, powerful rest sharpens the will.
That's the room of the leader, where the stoic. It's not soft like the nest, and it's not loud like the throne room. It is sharp. It is where you go to meditate before a battle.
It's intentional rest. Rest is a tool for focus.
So between levels 6 and 7, you have a spectrum of rest. From the messy cave to the velvet throne, from the bright nest to the sparse cell, the ship acknowledges that rest looks different for different parts of you.
That is such a key takeaway. Sometimes self-care is a bubble bath in the level 4 pool, but sometimes it's sitting in the dark in room 2 on level 6, and sometimes it's putting on makeup and looking at yourself in the mirror in the throne room. All of those are valid forms of rest on this ship.
And because they have doors, they have privacy, the crew, the subpersonalities can retreat. They don't have to perform for each other 24/7.
Which prevents the burnout we talked about in the intro.
It all comes back to that.
Precisely.
Okay, we are nearing the top of the ship. We've done the gut, the brain, the body, the heart, the soul private self. Now we reach level 8. Upper recreation.
This is the mind's playground.
We had a gym downstairs, but that was for the body. What is this for?
This is for the imagination. The cinema, the arcade, the library, the server room.
The cinema description is interesting. Structured storytelling. Experiencing emotion through narrative distance.
A narrative distance. That is why we watch movies. Sometimes your own life is too messy to cry about. It's too raw. But you can watch a movie where a dog dies or a couple breaks up, and you can weep.
You borrow the movie's structure to process your own emotion.
Exactly. It is a safe simulator for emotion. It lets you feel things without being overwhelmed by them.
And the arcade. Interactive play, competitiveness with low stakes.
Low stakes, that is the key phrase. Level 3, the bridge, is high stakes. If you mess up there, the ship crashes. If you mess up in the arcade on level 8, you just lose a quarter.
You need a place to fail safely. That's what play is. It's practice for the real thing.
And the library. Learning and reflection without the demand to produce.
We live in a world that demands we monetize our hobbies. Oh, you like reading? You should start a book blog. You like knitting? Open an Etsy shop.
The level 8 library says, no, just read the book. You don't have to write a report. You don't have to tweet about it. Just learn.
It restores the joy of curiosity for its own sake.
And finally, the server room tech, where technology gives thought, creativity, and intention the tools to breathe. This is the creative studio. The podcasting booth, the coding station.
So level 8 is the cultural center of the mind. It's the museum, the theater, the university.
And the pub. Don't forget the bar lounge. Casual play and conversation.
Essential. Finally, we climb the last set of stairs. We reach the very top. Level 9, the roof.
The connection to the universe.
This level surprised me. It has a greenhouse, a sport court, a fire pit, and an observation deck.
It's the outdoors, inside. It's nature, but contained and safe.
The greenhouse, slow growth, tending to natural cycles.
In a metal ship, drifting through the void, keeping something green alive is an act of defiance. It's hope.
It reminds the crew that time isn't just about survival, it's about growth. You can't rush a tomato plant.
No matter how fast Mac drives the ship on level 3, the plants on level 9 grow at their own speed. It grounds you in natural time.
And the fire pit, a place to sit with thoughts and enjoy the flame. rather than to solve them.
Rather than to solve them, that is a distinct cognitive skill, not solving.
It's so hard. My brain is a problem-solving machine.
It is. But sitting with the problem, sitting with the flame, and just watching it burn without trying to put it out or fuel it, just witnessing, that is mindfulness. That is level 9 thinking.
And the observation deck. This is where you look out.
This brings us back to the planet.
Right. The planet, the noisy, screaming world we left in the intro.
From level 9, you can see it, but you are not on it.
This leads us to the core philosophy of later days. The document says, the ship lives in the threshold. It watches from the outside.
There is enough distance to reflect, yet enough closeness to care.
That is the tightrope walk. That's the whole game.
It is. And the expert analysis here, well, my analysis, is that this is distinguishing between perspective and dissociation.
Break that down. That seems really important.
Dissociation, unhealthy escapism, is cutting the feed. It's closing the blinds, locking the door, and pretending the world doesn't exist. It's numbing out.
That'd be like hiding in level 6, room to the bunker forever.
Exactly. But the ship has an observation deck. It has comms. It is looking at the world. It says, this is not an escape from reality. It is a lens that brings the world into focus.
So the distance allowed you to actually see the problem. When you are standing in the middle of a traffic jam, you can't see the traffic pattern. You just see the bumper in front of you.
Correct. When you go up to the observation deck on level 9, you see the traffic jam as a system. You understand it, you can reflect on it, you can care about it without being run over by it.
So the ship isn't running away, it's pulling back to get a better shot.
It's a vessel for the internal world that allows the internal world to interface with the external world safely.
That's beautiful. It frames introversion or withdrawal, not as a weakness, but as a strategic maneuver.
Time is slow, but there is constant motion. That's another quote from the text. The ship is moving. It's not stagnant. It's just moving at its own pace.
And the ship evolves. The notes mention the ship, Max, evolves.
Wait, the ship is named Max.
Yeah, it's just a little parenthetical, Max. Or maybe the entity, the entire system is Max. But it implies the structure itself isn't rigid. It can change. You can renovate.
That's vital. If you realize you need a bigger library, you can expand level 8. If you realize you need a boxing ring instead of a pool, you can renovate level 4. The vessel serves the crew, not the other way around.
So we've toured the ship. We've seen the engine, the bridge, the kitchen, the velvet throne room, the greenhouse.
It's quite a structure, an entire world.
And remember, this is a translation. The source says, not a house for the external world, is a translation of how my internal mind works.
It's a visualization tool, and a powerful one.
So to the listener right now, maybe you don't have a spaceship. Maybe you visualize a castle, or a bunker, or a library, or a garden.
But the questions this vessel asks are universal. Where is your engine? Where do you process your waste? Where do you play? And do you have a room where you can just be authentic, messy, and loud?
And most importantly, who is sitting at your captain's table on level 3?
That is the most important question. Is it fear driving the ship? Is it anger? Or is it a collaboration?
Are your subpersonalities talking to each other in the dining room, or are they locking each other in the brig?
Hopefully they're sharing a meal, even if it's a tense one sometimes.
Hopefully.
One last thing to consider. The image of the ship drifting past the planet. The silence of space against the noise of the world.
Yeah.
If you build a vessel like this, if you build a strong internal world, the noise of the plan doesn't go away. The traffic, the conflict, the history, it's all still there.
Right. The planet doesn't disappear just because you built a ship. That's not the point.
Exactly. But you don't have to let it inside the hull. You can choose when to open the airlock. You can choose when to engage. You are safe inside your own reliability.
You are undeservedly reliable.
Ideally, yes. Deservedly so, I would argue. You've done the work to build it.
I like that better.
Yeah.
So as we sign off, I want you to imagine your own ship. What color is the hull? What's growing in the greenhouse? And maybe, just maybe, take the stairs today. Don't teleport. Walk the steps.
Feel the process.
Exactly. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next orbit.
Safe travels.